Hey, how are you? My name is Phil. Welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena. Today we're looking at a kinda janky, I'm gonna be honest, kinda janky teamer list that actually I've found decent amounts of success with so far. Hasn't been an amazing one, right? Probably hovering somewhere around like the 40 to 50%, but overall it's been a pretty fun deck to pilot. It's, honest to God, mostly red-green ramp, but you play it in a controlling style, with some of your win cons going off of your big mana spells, like your Blue Sun's Twilight, perhaps stealing some big stuff from your opponent, or just memory deluging to hunt down more cards, and then eventually using Titan of Industry and possibly duping it with Fable of the Mirror Breaker to go massive and just swing for like 50 damage. While I was testing out and fiddling with my mana base for this deck, I actually had a game where I got to make, I think it was 10 Titans of Industry, and just slam my opponent for 50 total damage in one turn, which was really funny because they had about 43 health, and I don't know why they didn't stop me. But anyways, the deck's alright. It's got some weird kind of mid-rangey stuff to it. You run Strangles and Abrades to keep yourself rolling through the early game. Brotherhood's End is here to deal with mono red and soldiers for the most part. Your Fables and Big Scores are there to help you ramp, as well as just card selection. One copy of Green Sun's Twilight, which you could probably cut, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't found great times to use it, and it's usually something I cycle away with Big Score or Fable. But I have used it once or twice in order to basically guarantee the right amount of mana to swing with Topiary Stomper or have it be able to block, so take what you can get. Bushwhack, actually pretty good, being able to hunt up a basic for, say, like, you just need your second blue source to play Memory Deluge or Blue Suns. Bushwhack can be nice for that. Or it can just be nice to just like have a Titan punch a Shield Druid in the mouth. Herd Migration, the unsung hero, or maybe very sung hero of this deck, making it so that you can hunt up your basics. That's why we run 2 of each basic, to make sure we can hunt them up with like Herd Migration and Topiary Stomper, and Bushwhack to a degree. But it also gains you 3 life. And you don't actually have to, you can fail to find with Herd Migration and still gain the 3 life. It's pretty okay. We also technically use the side of Herd Migration that allows us to make a bunch of beast tokens, because we run 1 of each Triland. That allows us to hit all Trilands, as well as just generally be useful for mana fixing. We run Spar's Headquarters, Jetmir's Lounge, and Xander's Lounge to mana fix, as well as hit full domain, that's the word, for Herd Migration. That's our secondary win con right behind Titan. We also run Arlen in here, who can be nice for just beating stuff down. Armored Scrap Gorger is great graveyard hate and ramp. And a War Loam Speaker is great mana fixing, and just overall the deck's, it's just kind of a nice mid-range pile of good cards. Is it good? I don't know. Kind of. It's fun. It's different. And right now, with how blasé Standard has become, with every game being one of 3 matchups, those 3 matchups being mono red, mono black, or soldiers, it's nice to just be able to pilot something different and try and figure out how to play around the meta decks of the moment. I've been enjoying it. The deck list will be in the description, so maybe you can enjoy it as well. And without further ado, let's hop into the gameplay. Alright, this might be the first fucking piece of gameplay of the video, because I have lost 12 games in a row with this deck today. Because every single time I play the deck, the Magic the Gathering gods seem to think I need to play into mono red or mono black with perfect starting hands, and then proceed to give me no lands. It's really fun. I don't know if you can like hear the sarcasm here, but like it's not actually fun. Also, really? You kept a double scroll of no land hand? That has gotta be one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. It's gotta be one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. Double scroll of no land. Alright. Was that a 2-drop? That's a 2-drop. We just play Fable. Look, I get it. You have Scroll Trigger, but like, please learn to pass priority. Thank you. I'm trying to think of what the best play on this next turn here is. Do we just steal the Annex Sentry? We might just steal the Skrelv. I'm trying to think of what the best play here is. It's really hard to tell. It seems like my opponent is dumb and is going to use Skrelv to do extra poison damage. Reason why this is dumb, like, oh no, I got 4 poison counters. I'm now going to steal your creatures. I need double blue. I don't know why you're saying nice, opponent. I really don't. You're the one who made the misplay of using your Skrelv before my turn. Okay, they have Skrelv's Hive. Very annoying. Not the end of the world. Do we just steal their Skrelv here? We might. Can we steal Skrelv and play Lone Speaker? I think we can, actually. Do you have a way to prevent Skrelv from getting stolen? He can't target himself. So unless you have a protection spell in hand, Skrelv is mine. I guess they just really wanted to... I don't know. I don't know what they wanted to do there. Alright, well, it's time to pray to find Titan of Industry. Venerated Rot Priest. How exciting. And by how exciting, I mean how boring. We can play that, so we just vibe now. We are just holding until we can Memory Deluge to go hunt down a Titan. And once we hunt down Titan, we use it to blow up Skrelv's Hive, duplicate it with Kiki Jiki, and profit. I wish we could have played Topiary Stomper. It's a good chump blocker in this, or, well, a good blocker in general in this instance. Okay, we have to play it now if we don't find Titan. Very sad. We block here because it doesn't matter if this thing dies. We do this now just in case they pump in response. Hunt down Titan of Industry, which we did actually find, and then an untapped land. Does not hurt us. Looks like my opponent has no answers. This bodes very well for me. Because we also have access to their Skrelv's defensive stuff. Alright, create a token, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And we can dupe Titan whenever we feel like. Fun fact about Titan of Industry, when you dupe it and you choose to make a Rhino token, the Rhino token stays around. It's kind of a weird one. No matter what you do, the Rhino token stays. It's very odd. It's one of those things that feels like it shouldn't work, but it does. Also, like I was saying, we have access to their Skrelv, so now we actually have access to defensive capabilities at instant speed without having to do anything. I mean, what are you going to do with that? You're going to take the Skrelv. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Is that a... those are artifacts, by the way. Fun fact. And also, Titan... well, first of all, we can dupe it at instant speed. Create a token, destroy target artifact or enchantment. We blow up their Annex Sentry here. Which doesn't trigger Rot Priest, by the way. It's a bit of a weird interaction, but Rot Priest only cares about spells? We do this to get what I believe is our last basic out of the deck. Ah, no, we have two more. Never mind. Swing with the Titan that's a dupe. Because it's going away at instep anyways. I do believe that technically Skrelv goes back to their side of the field if we blow up their Annex Sentry, so we want to avoid blowing it up at all costs, essentially. I'm surprised we got such a good game. I've been having some terrible luck lately when it comes to, I think if I just swing with everything, I now just have lethal, by the way. Especially because Skrelv can't block here. And blowing up that means that we just get to swing past it. We dupe another Titan. We have 21 points of trample. And we went off of that, probably. Yeah, we went off of that. I am amazed that that went as well as it did. Like I said, I think I mentioned in this recording, I've been having some terrible luck today, but at least we finally got a nice dub that I can actually put in a video. I'm not putting it in the video because I want to put it in because it was a good showcase of the deck. I'm just going to clarify. We go first. We have an undeniably keepable hand. Tapped Sparas into Boseiju and Scrapgorger on the same turn. Wow, it's mono red. Alright, well, they kept a bad hand. You want to know how I know it's a bad hand? They didn't keep Kumano Faces Kakazan. On the plus side, we have Herd Migration, which is just chef's kiss. Such a good card. Gives me 3 life early, and late it gives me just access to a bunch of stuff. Feldon. Oh my god, this is unironically an amazingly perfect matchup for me. Scrap Gorger never does damage to Feldon. Play the Topiary Stomper here. We go get a pain-free blue source, so that we have 2 blue. We are going to actually be quite close to just slamming Titan on curve. We might use Brotherhood's End to board wipe them if things get kind of finicky. That might be a play. It does give them card advantage with Feldon, but that doesn't scare me that much. Swift Spear, they probably have a burn spell. Alright, well, let's go ahead and exile their thing. And now we absolutely Brotherhood's End here. Unfortunately, we don't have double red, but we will be able to get it with Herd Migration. Assuming we don't draw it. We did not. We go get it with Herd Migration. That's why the card's so good. It allows us to mana fix however we so need. They do get card selection here, but we get to wipe 2 of their creatures off the board and get ourselves back up to 17 life. Looks like they hit, at best, a Voldarin Epicure. It's really nice for me. Next turn might just be a play Arlen turn. People tend to really focus out Arlen for some reason when she lands on board. I don't know why. I think it's the whole, like, makes a bunch of tokens scares people. Oh, this is huge. We can play Arlen and the Scrap Gorger.
We must put an end to the violence.
We actually plus Arlen here. It keeps her out of burn spell range, and it makes the Scrap Gorger come in with +1/+1. No, like, seriously. You know, if they just play with fire in your face, they are out of ideas. Especially when you have a Planeswalker on board. But yeah, see, it's a 1/4 now, which makes it a much better blocker. I wish I had more things to play around with Arlen, but can't win them all. If they double spell here, that's bad. I mean, if you're just going to swing face, I really don't care. Oh no, you're hitting me for 5. I have 15 life, opponent. I'm about to have more, but they don't know that. But you could sack it and kill Arlen. It's not a terrible idea. That's not the... Okay. I mean, they don't know that, but I know that. Let's eat some spells so they can't get them back. Target player gains 5 life. Create a Rhino. We now minus to make some wolves, to make a really wide board presence. And now my opponent is in some trouble. Because, well, red doesn't deal with 7/7 Titans of Industry very well. Now, hey, what do I know? They could have Obliterating Bolt Lightning Strike in hand, and that kills Titan. Does take up their entire turn just to kill my Titan, though. And Mono Red does not like to do that. We are now actually just on the hunt for a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Or another Titan of Industry. One or the other. Either one is fine. Did they really have Lightning Strike Obliterating Bolt? Because that is hysterical if I called that. Oh, no, it's just a Shivan Devastator. That's... okay. Okay, we're going to do this. And we're going to go... flip, so that Arlen is now a wolf. Which will allow us to swing on this upcoming turn. I think their plan might be to, like, swing with Shivan Devastator and burn out the Titan of Industry simultaneously, so let's just go hunting for something right now. Another Memory Deluge is always good, and Yavimaya Coast is fine. You can play the second Memory Deluge right now. If they swing, I have to block with Titan. I do not have a choice. There is no getting around this. No matter who, what, when, where, why, or how, I am blocking. Yeah, it's just to play with fire. I mean, oh no, one of my like 5 creatures had a thing happen. Okay, so they took out Arlen. Once again, kind of confused as to why they're targeting these odd duck things. We are also making sure we hit spells, because if they run the version of the deck that has... I forgot the name of the card now. And we will eat another spell. It's the vampire that's a 2/2. That when it flips, just go ahead and hit him with a good game, because that's game over. I forgot. It's a vampire, and when you play it, you're allowed to spend extra, and it gets +1/+1 counters, and you exile spells from your graveyard and cast them. That's why I was eating spells with our mid-scrap Gorger. I mean, obviously we couldn't eat all of them. They were spitting them out too fast, but we were trying to get rid of what we could, just in case. Like, because like right here, we had 15 life, sure, but they could have played it, copied a spell, killed a couple of things, maybe gotten out of it. They wouldn't have. Our boys got a little too far ahead for mono red. They kept kind of a dubious starting hand IMO, but I'll take it. I'll take the easy dub. GG, on to the next. My attempts to fight the blight of mono red continue. This hand's okay. Strangle is pretty alright. We can go ahead and get a tap land out of the way. We don't have an instant speed spell to play anyways. Might be soldiers. If it's soldiers, we just play Scrap Gorger on curve here, because they can't... Soldiers doesn't swing past Scrap Gorger unless they play out a... I forgot the name. One of their Anthem effects on turn 2. They don't get past Scrap Gorger unless they do that, and if they do that, I just strangle it and get a really easy early lead. Thalia is not something we care about. I mean, we care. We're going to kill her, but like... It's one of those, we can let Thalia be for a turn. Yeah, we grab an extra red source, because we have another green in hand, and we already have 2 blue on board. So we have double red, double blue, and a double green, as well as an extra green. We also play it like this, because that way we get to play that on curve. There's the veteran. We don't block anymore. Never mind, they just played very silly. Kill the veteran here. And now we eat the veteran to make sure that they cannot do anything with it. And we play Fable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if Goblin Shaman gets to swing. If my Goblin Shaman gets to swing, we are just sitting pretty. Actually, we can just play the Titan now. We do eat our own strangle here, but... Alright, make a 4/4. Gain 5 life. So what are you going to do about a 7/7 opponent? Can I just ask about that? Like, what are you going to do about a 7/7? You're going to play Mural. What are you going to do about a 7/7? Alright, so we're going to go a little cheeky here. We're going to go hunting for... basically this, yeah. So, get a red mana, eat the land, I guess. It doesn't really matter. We want to kill the Valiant Veteran, so the basically anything and everything they do here, just, like, is a little bit worse. And if both Titan and Kiki-Jiki get to live for another turn, we are just so fine. And they also clearly aren't playing a, I guess they're just trying to go really wide? Yeah, I guess they really want Mural to die. Alright, well, let's play this for X equals 5. Yeah, we can. Do that, do Battlefield. So here's the thing. They might have a giant pile of things, but even if they... Alright, well, let's first of all do this. Eat their Valiant Veteran. Use this mana to duplicate our Titan of Industry. Make a 4/4. Gain 5 life. So now we have another 4/4. Okay. We may may as well play this. I mean, they can swing it and make a bunch of stuff, but I'm just going to keep gaining life with my current Titan, so pretty okay with this. Sky Strike Officer, little annoying, not really the end of the world. They can draw a bunch of cards, but if they draw too many, my Titans, plural, will kill them. If they draw too many cards, I just kill them. Because Titan of Industry just murders them. I don't know what they think they're getting away with. I have a Titan of Industry. Alright, now let's do this the proper way, shall we? First of all, let's eat the mural, so that they can't get it back through any means. On instep here, we dupe Titan, again, keep gaining more life, and keep making 4/4s. We don't bother to care about tokens, because honestly, it just kind of straight up doesn't matter. We will send double Titans at them on this upcoming turn here. Little sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. We could put a... You know what? Let's do this. Let's just do this. Put a shield counter on this Titan. So now all of my creatures here, all of my Titans can swing. And this is a lethal threat that has trample in it. And then we swing those 4, and then we swing this one. And yeah, that'll be the attack. This puts them really big on the back foot here, because they have to do something about these Titans. They are 21 trample damage, but there's also 12 non-trample damage swinging at their face, and then another 4 so that's 16 non-trample damage swinging at them, but then 21 trample damage. So they're going to probably start trying to chump block, and if they try and multi-block my Rhinos or Topiary Stompers, fine by me, that's a win. And this is going to be a lot of math for my opponent, but math is for blockers. Yeah, we have 21 damage trampling over, meaning that they have to dedicate a lot of resources here. So if they don't, they just, like, that. This is a lethal threat. And, they could win on the way back with, like, a Harbin. Right? But that's kind of like a risk I have to take. Because I die to a Harbin anyways, right? Like, if they have Harbin makes all of their soldiers fly when they all attack at once. So, like, if they have a Harbin, I die anyways, right? Like, I cannot stop everything because 15 soldier tokens with +1/+1 swinging at me. Just, like, physically impossible for me to block all of them and live, right? So I have to make the aggressive move here. And they have to find a way to block and not die. And I don't know what that number is. I don't know what that, like, special number is. Oh, do they not know? Alright, well, these 2 Titans are going to die anyways, by the way, because they are made by Kiki-Jiki tokens, so that's nice for me. But I think that prevents lethal from Harbin, because I have 35 life, and that is a lot of life. So I kill those entire piles of tokens. And then I might just have lethal on this upcoming turn by just swinging out with everything. But I don't know. If they play Harbin, they can't Fortified Beachhead, which is nice. But they can search for Harbin super hard. But I don't know if they kill me. A 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20. 23. 24, 25, 26, 27. It's only 27 damage with a Harbin. It is just only 27 damage with Harbin. Unless I'm doing my math wrong, which is very possible. I could be wrong. They could have Harbin and an Anthem effect, and that just kills me. Right? So, like, we'll find out. It's a 50-50. I win or I don't. I just kind of had to go for that on the last turn to try and, like, shrink down their resources. And on this next turn, I am just going, oh, that bodes really well for me. Yeah, no matter what I think on this next turn, I'm just going for an all-out swing. Valiant Veteran's not actually scary, believe it or not. Like, not really. I have a ton of life. 35 life? Kind of a lot of life. Especially if they're going to keep drawing like that. Like, Harbin now becomes a little scarier. Siege Veteran's not exactly scary, and they have so much stuff that's tapped here. They're going to have so much stuff that's tapped here. I don't know if they can survive a double Titan swing, but hey, we'll find out, right? We'll find out just as much as they'll find out. My only question is, do I draw Blue Sun's Twilight? Because if I draw that, I think I just win. I could bother to do the math here, but I will have 14 trample damage going over the top, as well as a billion other things. Let's eat some stuff while we're thinking about it. Would eat Miro. They can't stop that. And let's eat, I don't know, something from my graveyard. I wish I could get an extra counter on that Scrap Gorger. It came in one turn too late to be a difference maker. Unfortunate. All right. We're going for it. We kind of have to, once again. And I think this is a case of I will try and gain as much life as possible. And I will shield up my Titan a second time. And we go! I could technically try and do this, like, correctly. But you know what? This is more fun. I could do the math, but this is just a cluster, and I don't care to do math when it's a cluster. That's 14 points of trample damage, which I think you have to block with everything, which means everything else might just absolutely murder you. I mean, opponent, that's 14 points of trample damage. 14. 14 points trampling over the top, buddy. You have to block almost all of it. This is not enough resources to block all of the trample damage. And that's still 16 damage of Rhino tokens. Opponent. I'm pretty sure you're dead, right? Because you just left 14 damage unblocked. Because they just like straight up left 14 damage unblocked. What, you're not even going to let my damage go through? Bruh. Bruh. So yeah, that went pretty okay. I got kind of unlucky at the end. I just kind of drew nothing. My opponent whiffed harder, though. They drew like half their deck. Didn't hit a Harbin. I don't think Harbin would have killed me, though. I still think my math was right, and that Harbin was like 10 points of damage off lethal. Which is totally fine, because then on the next turn I would just swing in with Titans and just be like, yeah, okay, I killed you now. Or, you know, I swing in with Titans anyways. They were not aggressive enough about blocking my Titans. I think they should have just, like, thrown everything in front of my Titans, right? But they couldn't. I guess they should have technically put one blocker in front of everything, and then everything else in front of my Titans to save as much life as possible. But I don't know. This is kind of a hard matchup for soldiers. Anyways, on to the next. We go first, and we're decently happy about it. Tapped land on 1 is always nice. Untapped on 2 is also nice. Let's see if we can't get out a removal spell. Here comes the cut down. Mono black can't control themselves. Did you think I was joking? Mono black can't control themselves. Even if there's going to be other better targets in the future, mono black physically cannot control themselves. Oh, sorry. I guess it's Fight Club mono black, which isn't even really mono black. It's just Fight Club. Tenacious Underdog. No. A U. Go get a basic, which I think I want a non-damaging red source here. We kill the underdog because it's in our way. And we swing to make as much mana as possible because we want to try and find Titan of Industry ASAP. It's one of those things where, like, technically it's also bad for me in the long run. Because If they play, we can do this. If they block, we abrade. It's technically bad for us to play Titan in a way, because if we play Titan and they're playing Fight Club, like true Fight Club, like Phyrexian Obliterator plus Bushwhack Fight Club, then we don't have much to sack, but we do now have Herd Migration. Rhino, shield counter on the Titan. And we will add another shield counter and then another Rhino. You might think the double shield counters are kind of silly, but it allows us to block Glissa. We do still have to worry about Phyrexian Obliterator, but they're 1 black mana shy, so. And the double shield counters also means this Titan is just safe from a lot of stuff, and we're just going to keep stacking shield counters to make it just safer and safer and safer from removal. We probably just full play Herd Migration to have a bunch of things to sack. Alright, so yeah, we are now on the... we cancel that. We don't need to do that. We steal their Glissa, actually. Because now we have the first strike Death Toucher. They could play Phyrexian Obliterator here, but like, whatever. Doesn't actually bother me that much. The big thing that they want to swing against is the Titan of Industry, right? Because that makes me sack 7 whole things. But like, I'm about to play this and make 4? Yeah, we're going to make 4 things through Herd Migration, as well as keep making Rhino Warrior tokens. Which will just be nice. Actually, I take that back. I'm not going to make Rhino Warrior tokens. I'm going to keep gaining life with the Titan loop. That's not really a loop. Fight rigging. Opponent, I don't know why you didn't think this through. Maybe they did, and they're like, aha, I can kill the Titan. It's got a shield counter, friend. Got a shield counter. And that interaction goes off at instant speed. They can kill Kiki Jiki, and that is slightly annoying. Slightly annoying. Is it the end of the world? God, no. No, we still probably come out on top in the long run. I don't think we actually need to put any more counters on our Titan at this point. I think 2 counters is safe enough. Destroy, gain 5. We do lose this at end step, but it does mean that their fight rigging now just like totally whiffs. And they have to choose something and then throw it away. I guess I could have waited for them to choose something first, but like... it was fine. Look, I'm not one to super judge, but that was a really big misplay. Kiki Jiki can die to go for the throat. Can this proliferate? Nah, we'll just draw a card. We draw a card and lose 3 life, but we're gaining 5 life per turn, essentially, through Titan. This is literally just here so we have stuff to sack. If they try and do Bushwhack / Tailswipe nonsense with a Phyrexian Obliterator, having a giant pile of stuff. I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu. That I'm not quite sure where it came from. Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where did it come from? Deja vu, oh. We just vibe. There's no reason to do anything right now. I kind of just want to wait until I can make an extra Titan and then just kind of kill them. Which I think we're actually 1 turn away from. Oh, wait, maybe we could have done it there. In response. We will gain life, and we'll make a token. Unfortunately, we do have to sack our Kiki-Jiki. It's so sad. But they only get to draw one card off it, and we can go searching for another Kiki-Jiki now. Which we found, and another Titan of Industry, which is pretty nice, if you ask me. I do think we almost have lethal, though. Let me do some math. So if they block so, well. They didn't even wait to see what I did. Did Bushwhack go on the stack and I didn't realize it? Maybe they just slammed Concede in response to Bushwhack, which is fine because that's lethal. It is. That's 12 plus another 12. So that's 24 right there. Oh, that's just lethal before Bushwhack. I think I could have killed them last turn. That's on me. I missed lethal really hard. I'm not used to playing big and stompy, alright? I'm not used to it. Cut me some slack. GG's opponent, on to the next. Alright, so recording for this deck was a bit of a pain in the butt. It does fine into Soldiers, it does fine into Mono Black, and Golgari, I guess, as well, technically, but Mono Red, if you don't have Herd Migration early, and you don't have ramp creatures that don't die, Mono Red will typically kill you before you can play Titan and get that oh so juicy 5 life and 7/7 on board. You can do it. It is possible. It's just really, really difficult to go toe-to-toe with Mono Red with this deck. I think it would be a really solid, just like best of 3 deck. You could add some really cool cards to the sideboard, like, well, any number of Planeswalkers could fit into this deck just wonderfully. We don't technically play those colors. We are still technically a Temur deck. But I mean, like, most of these Planeswalkers in this pile fit just wonderfully. You could easily slot in Luca as early ramp instead of Arlen for early creatures. Luca also makes a creature and does fit in that same 4-drop slot, even if he is technically a 5-drop if you don't want to take damage. But he does ramp, and he's also got the plus side of you could play Luca on turn 4, plus him, and then play out either a Loam Speaker or a Scrap Gorger to protect him off of it, which is nice. You could play Tamio in this deck, which it doesn't get back like your Titan of Industries, but it would get back other Planeswalkers you have in the graveyard, like maybe your Arlens or your Lucas if you choose to play them. You could maybe slot Changer into the 3-drop slot, but that is hard-pressed to find better cards than Fable, Brotherhood's End, and Topiary Stomper. You could make an argument for a copy of Nissa on the top end. It does help combat Mono Red by basically making infinite creatures and destroying their enchantments when they do run them. But really, I'd probably only slot Luca or Tamio in here as alternate options. You could make arguments for running this a bit more tempo with, say, Fading Hopes in it. But overall, this version feels pretty okay and pretty solid. You ramp hard enough that it does end up working out. I do recommend at least 6 basic lands, though. Minimum 6 basic lands. Between the number of decks that like to basic check you and the number of basics that you search up between Bushwhack and Topiary and Herd Migration, at least 6 basics, if not 7 or 8 IMO. It does make making sure you have all of your colors to be able to do all of your plays a little more difficult, but that is why we have mana fixing through Scrap Gorger and Loam Speaker, and like Big Score and Fable to find some treasure tokens and whatnot. Overall, I like the deck a lot. It's a really like nice change of pace to play something a little off meta, a little janky. It's still very much a collection of some of the best cards in Standard right now, don't get me wrong. Armored Scrap Gorger, amazing versatility, great blocker, as well as Mana Dork, as well as Graveyard Hate. Abrade, great versatility, same with Strangle. Fable's amazing, Brotherhood's End's amazing, Topiary Stomper, amazing. Like, all of these are very powerful, good cards in Standard, just kind of chumped into a deck. But it's just a little bit different. I'm not playing blue-white Drago. I'm not playing Izzet, try and storm off with infinite turns. I'm not playing mono-red, mono-black, or soldiers or something like that. It's just a little bit different. It's a little bit fun for me. And that's one of the things that I desperately hunt for in these portions of Standard where the meta is so painfully set in stone, it makes me want to claw my eyes out. But either way, thanks for hanging out and watching. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one.